Teamwork isn't about leading in every situation. It's really about each person understanding that they have strengths and weaknesses, and it's a decision, a conscious effort for that person to let the other person focus on what they're stronger in.
One of the reasons that we see things are failing over time is because the foundation is not right. So if we talk about working together, then I'm looking at what is the foundation of your relationship. This foundational stuff about taking ego away, knowing when to lead, knowing when to follow, right? Knowing like I'm doing this for us.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wellness and Winnings, episode 3. Our goal here is to help you find ways to be strong in your faith, family, finance, fitness, and friendships. So today we're talking about how to work as a team. Teamwork is really big, obviously, especially when it comes to marriage and business. And I think the main thing that we want to really create a theme around is the fact that teamwork isn't about leading in every situation. It's really about each person understanding that they have strengths and weaknesses, and it's a decision, a conscious effort for that person to let the other person focus on what they're stronger in and what their strength is. And so I think a lot of couples make the mistake that, teamwork is about, okay, well, we have to do everything together. It's not about doing everything together. It's about having a unified vision, right? And knowing that you both are working towards that direction in different areas of your life.
Yeah, guys. So, I'm more foundational guy. I think
More structure
very
systems.
structural, systematic. Before one of the reasons that we see things are failing over time is because the foundation is not right. So if we talk about working together, then I'm looking at what is the foundation of your relationship in terms of if you're gonna go far, right? It's not about how it's how you start is also important, but it's really how far can you go? How do you finish? And structurally, teamwork to me is foundational. Who are you as a person? What are your belief systems about? What do you believe about? Your wife, being a leader as a man, from the man perspective,
Or women's
or
roles.
women's role in a family, in a relationship. Some I've seen some couples are like in a competition, trying to, and you see sometimes maybe the woman is trying to pull the guy down, or he's trying to pull her down. So you have to first understand that the union is for better, right? That's the goal. Like we're working together to help each other.
Not to compete, but
We're
to
we're not in any
coordinate.
competition. If she's the one shining, well, let me help her, right? If she has whatever it is, your career, you imagine you're a doctor and you are the entrepreneurial type of doctor, and I'm a tech guy. I'll quit my business to come work with you. I've seen where the woman is struggling. She has a business, is doing very, very well, maybe double what the guy is earning, and the guy is still there doing his stuff. Maybe I'm not. Again, if your skill can be leveraged in her business, I will say go work with her. Now, sometimes some people may not work to. So, not letting your ego get in the way, knowing
Right,
that it's
right.
about us winning.
Yeah.
So to me, addressing the foundation, this foundational stuff about taking ego away, knowing when to lead, knowing when to follow, right? Knowing like I'm doing this for us, whatever it takes. If it means she's the one, that business is working, I can go support her with my skill set, then let's do that. Um,
It's about recognizing that those roles can change and evolve over time, right? Like the way that we have structured our family now with 6 kids and 7 plus businesses with 6 businesses, however you want to count it. It's not the same way that we structured our family when we had just one kid and we were both in corporate, meaning that okay, a lot was expected of you as a wife, with one kid. I'm like, okay, you have to be present, you have to be there. You come back from work, it's time to just tune out and be with me and, our son. But then as we continued having kids, we continued acquiring businesses. I'm not expecting you to necessarily be there as much because I know you're busy doing other things. So it's about recognizing that roles will change
Right.
depending on what season you're in. And roles did change for us. Like it wasn't. We're not going to expect. Well, I couldn't expect you to be the same Chidi, in our relationship, in our marriage, when we've had just one kid versus now. It's different. Now, thank God, we have the freedom. You can be home the whole week, or you can travel the whole week, whatever it is. You
Right.
own your own time. But in the beginning, we were tied to corporate, so we had to operate a certain way.
Right. So even yet touching on that too, and there were times that you had to be the one. You may have to make the sacrifice. Early in our business adventure, you had to quit your lucrative job to work at a mall, right? Because the mall business wasn't going as it should be, and we had
Just-
some staff that was there were a lot of issues there with the staffing issues. So to keep that business going, you have to quit your job, barely to manage that business. While I was working, obviously I was working and kind of in charge of inventory, ordering the goods and all that. But we need somebody to.
But you
At
kept your
one point, we
job.
couldn't open at the mall. At one point, we couldn't get some reliable staff to open up the store. You have to come do that because we're getting issues. A lot of getting written up by the mall management. So, but and then later in the career, I had to quit my job, right? But it doesn't matter. So regardless who had to make that sacrifice, it's for the greater good. You weren't looking at, oh shoot, will I get another job like this? He's trying to put me down. Why should I quit my job? Close the business, close your damn business, right? Why should I put my career behind just for your damn hair business?
But it's because we recognize it's our business.
It's our business.
It's not
That's
your
true.
business.
Right.
It's not my business. It's our business.
But that goes to the foundation. If you're not seeing, maybe you're the guy, right? You have a big business, and your wife, if you don't see that business that your wife has a stake on it, you'll be saying, "Out my business," But then so if things weren't going well, imagine the hair business was all mine. Then you're like, yeah, keep it. Y'all go, let it fail.
It's
I
all
gotta-
yours when things are not going
going
good,
well,
but
yeah.
it's ours when things are going great.
So yeah, it's really important for me also, guys. That's why the heart matters, right? The purpose, why you do things. Get to the why first. If you can fix the why, if you can address, why you feel this way, and get to the root cause of it. Why, maybe there's some things in the past that now makes you guys' bond is no longer the same. Address those things. But if you could fix the why, and both of you come to a point that we are a team, we're going to work together. It does not necessarily mean always working together on the same thing.
Or doing the
but we have
same
the
thing.
same doing the same thing. We have the same agenda. Is for we to win together on the health, family, on our friendship, right? For example, what do you think about this? If we used to debate about this in the past. If I'm okay to let go of a relationship that I find my wife, that cannot, At first I had to, I find my wife, she doesn't. Some relationship she has, if it's not working out good, right?
Okay. Relationship with friends?
With friends,
Okay.
right? So, how do you feel on the men's side continuing on with that relationship?
I guess you mean I'm
Part of working together. If you have if you have, something that a relationship that you don't really like, and you have to separate from that relationship, but the guy is still friends with those people.
Oh, okay.
How do
okay.
you handle that?
So the concept of is my enemy your enemy?
Yeah.
Is my friend your friend? Yeah. I mean, if we're looking in the light of like working as a team, I personally, this is my opinion. I don't believe that a husband or a wife should be, overly super buddy,
Right.
emotionally connected with someone that their spouse is not friends with or does not vibe with. I just think that alone is just going to create some tension within your relationship. Forget the friend, and at the end of the day, you're not coming home to your friend, you're coming home to your husband. I'm not saying that you can't be friends with the person, but if it gets to a point where, your spouse feels uncomfortable because you're in an environment that, with this friend that you're not vibing with, and your husband is like overly, jovial and playful and emotionally connected to that person, it kind of, it's not a stab to the heart, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I guess I would just rather maintain that distance maintain that relationship at a distance versus, and I would want my husband to do the same. If he can't, I'm not gonna kill you over it, but hey.
Right. But what if it's a business
If it's a business relationship? That's tough. That's tough. And
What
for
if it's a
me,
business relationship?
I always see it as family first. And when it comes to family first, is our family finances second, because we have to maintain our lifestyle. We have to maintain, our financial situation. So if it's at the detriment of our family and our finances, I'm gonna suck it up.
So let's say your business partners, the
My
spouse,
business partner.
my business partner, and you're not getting along with the wife, right? And you guys don't really talk.
And that's
Now,
okay with me.
So then, how would the guy? Obviously, so you're saying the guy should not be overly overly
Yeah,
jovial with the business partner's wife,
right.
but still you don't have to sever the business
No.
relationship you have going on.
No, I wouldn't say you have to sever it. No. It's just more about being emotionally intuitive to your wife. It's about, okay, out of, all the different times you guys can go on date nights or, events, they're not going to necessarily be my first pick of couples to go out with, right? But I wouldn't mind doing it if it's something that you feel very passionate about, or if you feel like it's a great, business decision. I don't know. But I would rather just,
Yeah, for the guys, it's easy. For me, yes, I would say yes. Let's say, in my case, let's say I don't have any issue with my business partner, by the way. But if that was the case, a business partner, yes, I will still, we still do our business. I wouldn't just, then to be overly with the wife or be, I don't have to text the wife anyway. So I agree with you on that. Just maintain whatever. Hello, hi, how you doing? If that's what your wife has, maintain that level of relationship.
for the sake of the peace.
For the sake of the peace. 'Cause at the end of the day, your family, your primary family is you, your wife, and your kids.
Yeah.
Even your kids, the kids are eventually going to grow and move out and do their own thing. So the person that you mostly going to spend most of your life with is your wife or your husband, and I think that's a relationship we should pour more into in taking care of.
Right.
Make sure that is priority for the guys. And like I said, being on the same page, there are times touching on the finance part. Early in our years of saving like crazy so we could do business, we don't really agree solely in the area of finances, in spending and all that. And now I saw mine from a man's perspective, which some of my business partners, business acquaintances have said the same thing. Oh my, we trying to invest in this real estate deal. And my wife went out shopping spree. Amazon boxes everywhere. Almost everybody. Almost everybody
Have the same
of the
experience.
friends in building stages have similar scenario. So I thought, this maybe is a guy thing. Is that especially guys that are builders. When not because I have a lot of builders around me. When I mean builders, not real estate. Guys want to build things, businesses, and all that. Or who are even in good career, but they want to save to invest. So they're seeing every penny as, I'm going to invest this, I'm going to invest this. And I have one that actually would even take credit card loan because like he's tracking every. He's like Dave Ramsey, like a good Dave Ramsey student. He's like, I don't want any interest. I want to save every cent. And he's doing well for himself right now. He could retire easily today. But I've seen them the same. To wife was shopping when I said, I want one more house for the year. And she went, new bag.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the level of consideration. You have to think about, is this woman spending $10,000 above the budget, or is she spending $100 above the budget?
Sometimes
and I think
no budget. The budget is all the savings.
Well, I think for men, a lot of times, especially if you're the financial head of the household, a lot of times it's every penny really does count. And for women, we're not looking at every penny. Maybe every couple $1,000s counts. We know that we're not going to go broke if we spend this money. Now that's different from if you're spending an exorbitant amount of money. Like, for example, I know some women, they were buying homes in Nigeria without letting their husband know. And it's like, okay, I could never do that. Number one, we've always had the same account. We've always believed, both of us should have the same account. And whatever I want to do, he knows about it. Whatever he wants to do, I know about it. And we both have to sign off on it. But I think that's the difference. It's about, like, yeah, we can spend when you guys are budgeting, but it's the level of spending.
And when you say sign off every spend, every major expense.
Yeah, major expenses.
She want to do, yeah.
I think you underestimated how much it takes for a woman to maintain being a woman. That's number one.
I think that is what I did not understand.
Absolutely.
How, once I get my hair cut for, twice a month.
That's it.
We should be good, right? And I know she may be $500, but that's just for the hair. What about the nails? What about this one? What about this one? I didn't like this makeup. I got to go through 10 iterations of makeup to find the right one. I'm like, well, by the way, I only have red back for this outfit.
I remember there's clothes for different seasons. I have maternity clothes, and I have clothes that I wore while you're trying to get back in shape from being a baby. Then you have clothes that you are when you're in perfect shape, and you feel like, okay, this is my ideal weight. But it's the fact that women, it takes a lot more to maintain a woman.
I agree, but early the guy is in the building stage, and
so do you feel like women should just like?
No, I'm not saying you should not. I'm just saying our position. That early in the days, you need certain amount to take care of yourself. The amount sometimes is plus or minus, X percent.
It's always plus.
It's always plus. You see that, guys? It's always plus. Plus to do things she needs to do.
But for you, so it's more about you working as a team with me.
So how I worked as a team with you, because at one point, I can't say don't do some of the things. I see you trying to be conservative, but man, I wish you would even try. Just be conservative. But you were trying. I could see the good intention, but still a lot of boxes coming in. Different seasons, right? Different seasons. So one of the things I said, okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna spend on myself. I have to you know what? Get me a few pants and shirt. And I'm not going to spend.
I appreciate
that. And then also I'm going to wait till she gets there. And she may never get there. They never get there. But at least she got better in, okay, maybe I'll have to wait one more month before I buy this bag. But I think being patient with the person, it doesn't mean she was doing anything wrong either, because we weren't blowing our savings. But even whatever she was spending, I'm like, that's my investment fund. Everything. Maybe I was looking at everything as an investment fund. Yeah. Also, some people say, okay, create a budget. But ladies, the budget doesn't work. The budget doesn't work. So looking at everything as investment fund, but the part is that would have caused a lot of friction.
And speaking of friction, I think the good thing that we didn't do, which we could have done, was you could have said, you know what, you have your own account, and you have a budget, and you finance that account, and whatever you spend in that, that's it.
We had that.
We did.
You had a credit card. You go through that card, grab the next one, grab the next one. By the way, it's because, it's not like we have exclusive card. There's all the cards I have. You're on those cards.
I
The
guess
same way.
what I meant to do was to add that, and then I couldn't have access to all the other money. But you never,
I didn't do that because
you never said you can't access this money. Like we've always had that same mindset of
it's
like,
freedom.
yeah.
Both have access.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe we should have had a limited amount. If it runs out, you have to wait.
Yeah.
But
That might have worked.
yeah. But the working together is that sometimes it was hurtful to me because I'm like, man, she's trying to delay what I'm trying to do.
Aw.
But then I had to just endure it. You know, and then maybe what, I gotta level up a little bit now. So you know what? If I had a little more money, this wouldn't be a problem. That's why I start looking at it that way.
That's a good
If
one.
I have a little more money, this wouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely.
You know, okay. Well, how much did she spend? $900 this month. Man, okay. If I had extra $900, would this be a problem? No. All right, then suck it in. And that's what I told one of my mentees. Was like, bro, what did I do, man? She's been just running. I said, listen, if don't make a little more money, just level up a little bit. Just just go level up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a really good segue into just the cultural mindset on masculinity versus femininity. It's, the fact that what defines a man and what defines a woman, I think the lines have been blurred so much with this concept of, feminism. It's more about, well, I'm an independent woman. I can do it all on my own. I don't need anything. I don't need a man. And then it's about men saying, oh, you know what? The woman, she's got to pull her own weight, And it's just debunking those myths of that, a man really should be the provider of the household. And no, it doesn't matter if your wife has a job or not. You have to be responsible, financially responsible for your household.
Yes, and 1,000%. It doesn't matter if she's making $1 million. You should be responsible. Now her income can enhance you guys' lifestyle,
Absolutely.
right? Yes, if it's teamwork, maybe you guys a house of 800,000. Because of that, you guys can afford a house of $1 million. But if your wife decides, you know what, I am gonna maybe at the early stage of our children just focus on them and do freelancing on the side, she should be able to make that choice, and she shouldn't be forced to, take the second job and the third job to maintain you guys' lifestyle. I think the guy should be responsible. Whatever it takes, that's the mentality that we should enforce today. Whatever it takes to keep my family at the level that we want, I should go do it.
Yeah. And then in return, the woman should be the one to say, you know what? Okay, that means I'm going to be responsible for, taking care of the home and making sure the kids are good and make sure there's food every day, that my husband likes, not just what you like, what your husband likes, which is a challenge because right now, I have to make sure the kids have what they like in the home. It's not necessarily what you like all the time, but I do,
You mix it up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, there are some dishes that I grew up with that you may not necessarily be good at, but sometimes
I'm
you know
not
what?
good at. It's just that
Great
I don't
at.
make them.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, you know what?
make
Let's go buy them. We do have a chef in the area, makes clean, healthy food, and we every other week it was, hey, can you make us XYZ recipe? They makes it, but cooking is not what defines the woman. Right. Yes, cooking is part of what you do. A mother, well, I say woman, those who may not have kids, but you should, like somebody said, making me a sandwich, right?
Or
Making me a
just
sandwich.
be attentive. I remember there was a time where I was kind of going through like my own, we all go through seasons in life and phases, and it wasn't the best place for me. But I didn't care what my husband ate. Like I could, as long as the kids were good, I'm like, okay, I'm okay. And I didn't even care about what I ate at some point. But, even checking in at that point to say, okay, babe, are you hungry? You may not necessarily need to make or be able to make what he wants, or I wasn't able to make what you want, but just showing the intentionality behind it, that you care. I think that can also be big for men too. But at the end of the day, teamwork isn't about sharing control, it's about sharing vision. And we had our ups and our downs, but I'm so glad that we're in a space where like we really we learned each other to know that we're not trying to share control, we're not trying to lead. everyone's not trying to lead all the time. At some point I have to take a backstage. At some point you have to take on a different role. And it's about, because we know there's a vision, there's a place we want to get to as a family. So
Right.
whatever that may be for you, I know that it may, over time it can be a little frustrating because maybe your spouse is not on the same page, or maybe you're just trying to like get him or get her to understand where you're coming from. And remember, you're two human beings. You have two, grew up in two different backgrounds, and were parented differently. So just give yourself a little grace and just know that teamwork is something that it evolves, and you guys will get there. Just making sure that you guys prioritize peace above all. So
Wow, like you just the last two words say, give yourself a little grace and prioritize peace. I think if that is the anchor, if peace and unity and is the anchor of your relationship, then it really solves a lot of things.
It does.
Giving grace, because again, because of your background, you have different background, different upbringing. She has different background, and just maybe she will get it one day, or he will get there one day. Just giving that grace and prioritizing peace, because at the end of the day, the things that people fight for, sometimes are not worth it.
Yeah.
Right? That okay, she spent extra $20. Okay, is your life defined by $20?
It definitely is.
Or maybe he, it could be on the men's side, but really prioritizing peace.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you cannot speak out and say, hey, I don't really like this, let's fix this. But peace, if peace is the
North Star.
When you, North Star, even
Yeah.
when you disagree and you guys have a little bit, but still, because of that peace, it should be easy to come back and say, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, well, we're happy that we got to discuss this today, and we're going to conclude today. Check us back for episode 4. Until then, we'll see you guys in the next one.